Hope you're all well and having a good week. Well, I'm Dave. I just thought I'd just start making a few videos. Everyone seems to be doing it. Yeah, I thought I'd have a go. So do excuse the poor or bad quality, but I'm hoping they will get better in time if I don't struggle making this one. But it seems all very straightforward. So yeah, well, I'm off on a little jolly up to Oxford, drop an excavator off. Then I'm back to Southampton to pick a crusher up and take to Shaftesbury. So yeah, not a bad little day today, and especially in this weather, it's absolutely beautiful driving around. Got the aircon on, got the cooling seat on, and yeah, it's nice. Let's say this time of year, it's just, oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. For driving and doing this job, it's absolutely great. You know, you get to see nice places, all the greenery's out, you know, everyone seems in a bit better mood, which is pretty amazing considering what we've been going through in the past year and a half. But chin up, hopefully, well, things are starting to get better, so we just got to sort of press on and get through it really. So yeah, I've been working for these guys probably about nearly 10 years now. Longest job I've ever had. Normally 2 or 3 years, and I sort of get bored and fancy a bit of a change. But no, they must be doing something right. You know, yeah, good times and bad times, but on the whole, yeah, it's pretty good to be fair. So they sort of look after me, and you put yourself out for them, and they put yourself out for you, and that's all you really want out of a job. Obviously, and to get paid as well, that's quite important. But yeah, so no, it's alright, it's alright. I say, it's all you hear is this doom and gloom at the moment about, oh, shortage of lorry drivers, you know, shortage of this, shortage of that, you know. I mean, oh, and people just saying, oh, I want to get out of the industry. I'll agree, it's not what it used to be. I mean, I've probably been driving now 20 years. Yeah, I passed my test when I was 21. As soon as I was old enough, straight through for my class 2, passed that, then into class 1. Luckily I didn't have to do theory, I don't think. So yeah, that was all done. And I say it wasn't hard, but it wasn't like it is now. I mean, now you've got to have a sort of like degree in computers to sort of pass your HGV with all the touch screen and everything like that they got to do. But I'll be honest, I don't think I could see myself doing anything else. I mean, I've sort of grown up with this. I was brought up on a farm. My dad always had lorries. I was always, as soon as I was old enough, I was going with him in the lorries. I mean, that was like at school, I just wasn't interested in the slightest little bit. Was never going to do any good, I knew that. Even though I did do alright without trying, so maybe I should have tried and I could have done quite a bit better. But all I was doing as at school was just thinking about what I'm going to do when I get home, what I'm going to do at the weekend, you know. Not interested in school whatsoever. Looking back, yeah, I probably wasted a bit of time that I should have been making more effort, but there you go, it's you live and learn, don't you? You think you know it all the time, but clearly you don't. But I mean, anyway, like, I couldn't see myself doing anything else than this. I say it's in my blood, and I still enjoy it, you know. Yeah, you have bad days, but you find me a job where you don't have a bad day. But I mean, I think the good days sort of outweigh the bad days, so that's the kind of ratio I want. As I say, I learned to drive not by doing lessons. I learned to drive on the farm, you know. How a lot of people did years ago. I mean, I was driving tractors and I was going with my dad in the passenger seat, and that's where I was learning. I was watching him, watching what he was doing, watching what the old school drivers were doing, rope and sheet, tying down, a dolly, etc., etc. yeah, so that's where I learned. I'd say it was in my blood, and I was always going to sort of follow in the footsteps. As I say, I go with him. Can I sit on your lap and steer the lorry across the field? Yeah, go on, just to shut me up. And then as soon as I could reach the pedals, can I drive it across? Yeah, all right. Then before you know it, I'm shunting in the yard, and then I'm just you know just doing everything I could. And like I say, I'd done my test, and I knew how to drive an Arctic, because I've been driving them around the yard. I've been shunting them around the yard, you know, like you do when you've been brought up in that era. I mean, my dad taught me mechanics, so I generally get myself out of trouble when I'm on the road. I can change a bulb. Now I can do a lot more than changing a bulb. You know, I'd change wheels if I get a blowout on the road. You know, I'd do a lot of it. I had an airbag go, and I managed to sort that and get myself back to the yard the other day, and you know, just general stuff. I'm quite happy to do it, you know. But the thing is, a lot of drivers don't do it or can't do it because of the health and safety and the legislation that they're not allowed to do it. Everyone wants to have a claim. Everyone wants to moan at someone or sue someone when something goes wrong. And I don't blame the drivers today, because they've never been taught and they've never had that opportunity like I had when I was younger to actually do these things and learn about it. You know, I mean, I spent a lot of time racing. I raced in stock cars, banger racing, and then funnily enough, I went into truck racing, and I ran my own racing team, and that experience from when I was younger helped me such a lot in my early days of that, because obviously learning mechanics, you know, and it put me in good stead. We were sort of racing in the British Championship, and we were sort of against teams with big budgets, you know, and at the end of the day I was just a lorry driver. I managed to buy a truck and a trailer to get it about on, and yeah, I got a good group of people together, and to be honest with you, that was the most important thing for me to sort of do, was get a good group of people. I mean, I had people that sponsored me. I had some really good guys that mechanics for me and helped me out, and if they hadn't have been there, there's no chance I would have done what I done. So yeah, I'd say I've been very fortunate in my past, what I've done, you know. So I've done all sorts. When I first passed my test, I had my Arctic. I had a Volvo FH16 on a bulker. Yeah, I've got such fond memories of that. That was the first Arctic I drove, and the first rigid. I had a 16-ton Ford cargo with a crane on it. Yeah, I say, cracking times, you know. And they had this funny thing here, we had to move your arm and change gear. Yeah, good times, good times. But I got to admit, lorries today, they are so much easier to drive. You've just got to, I suppose, just point them in the right direction and make sure you don't hit anything, you know. Don't get it wrong, you can still come unstuck. You can still come unstuck. But yeah, things are a lot more easy than they used to be. But yeah, like I say, I mean, they keep on about the driver shortage, and yeah, there's a driver shortage, but I think it's because people aren't brought up with it anymore. And I got the love of it, as I say, from going with my old man, you know, sitting on the passenger seat, watching him, you know, when there was that camaraderie of drivers around, you know, and they sort of all looked out for each other. Don't get me wrong, there is a lot of good drivers still about. There is a few old school, but I don't blame the newer people, because they don't get a chance to experience the old school, whereas I did. I saw it, I was a part of it, and I learned so much through that, you know, and like asking questions. But this is the trouble, like drivers just pass their test, and there's so many rules now, and it's so daunting. It's one of the only jobs you can go out in the morning and come home poorer than you left. You know, you could get a pull from a DVSA and you got something wrong and you're getting the fine, you know, driver's hours, etc. Because don't get me wrong, we all try and stay legal, but unfortunately sometimes there is a point where you do something wrong. We're all human. We all can't sort of be perfect, don't get me wrong. I mean, I try and do things to the best of my ability all the time, but there's an occasions where you do get something wrong. And trouble is, in this industry, when you do get something wrong, there's someone ready to jump on you. So yeah, it's a tough one. It is a tough one. But like I say, I can't see me ever changing, doing what I'm doing. I just enjoy it still. I just really do enjoy it, the freedom. And I mean, I've done jobs where I've been sort of not driving, and I really struggle. I find you're doing long days here, but the days, they really do go quickly, especially when you've got a busy day, you know. But yeah, this, like I say, these drivers shortage is a real problem. I don't know what the answer is. I mean, I'm paid, I'd say reasonably well, but yeah, there is a lot of drivers out there that's still paid a pittance, you know. And there's a lot of these agencies, yeah, they're advertising for £20-21 an hour, but yeah, that's all right. The drivers who've got the permanent jobs, that are on sort of like 12 and 13 quid an hour, going for them, but all of a sudden then if the contract ends, they're dumped, and what do I do now, you know what I mean? And then it's such a tough one. So I do get why drivers do stay in lower paid jobs, because that is security, because the market's so volatile at the moment. You just don't know where it's going to go. So it is a tough one. But yeah, like I say, because of the health and safety, I think that's such a big thing, as I say, because you would be having the younger people come into it, you know, because they could get the experience lower down, you know, and learn it as they're growing up, like I did. But yeah, it's tough. But I mean, I like to think I'm still a bit of an old school driver, because I learned from my dad. I still, you know what I mean, I can tie something on with a rope, you know, I can put a sheet on a load if I had to. But yeah, I like to say it's a hard one. It is a hard one. But no, I have been lucky. So I've had a good teacher, you know. I have had a good teacher, and I've picked up a lot through my life, what I've learned. And one thing, big thing, is every day is a school day. I mean, I mean, that's a very corny phrase, but it's so true. You know what I mean? You're always learning. I'm always learning. You know, we all make mistakes, and as long as you learn from them, that's the main thing, you know. But yeah, like I say, now I've got my 4-axle step frame on, so excavator up to Oxford, then back with a crusher. So hopefully you haven't got bored with my gabbling on. As I say, this is all new to me, so I'm starting to get a bit more used to it, talking to a windscreen, as to speak. But at least the windscreen won't answer your back. So like I say, if you haven't got bored and turned off, happy days. Keep watching. As I say, there's a bit more to come. I'll do a bit more footage throughout the day. As I say, hopefully there's going to be a lot more to come. A bit more interesting stuff. Some of the bigger stuff I move, you know. So thanks again for getting this far, and I'll see you soon. changed the plan. So yeah, we're just coming off here to drop the machine in here. So yes, I'll see you in a bit. Well, that was tight getting out of there, but we're out, so yeah, wasn't too bad. So on to the next one. Off to back down to Southampton now to pick up a crusher and take that to Shaftesbury. So yeah, not too bad at all. These little jobs, they can be quite interesting. You never know where you're going, who you're going to see. Yes, it's not a bad little job. That's it, we're away. So see you back at the next one. well that's us nearly here now. Going down to a little farm shop in Southampton to pick this crusher up. Nice little run back. A bit slow on the 34, but everyone's wanting to go to the beach today, and to be honest, you can't really blame them. They've all been locked up far too long. People are just going a bit stir crazy and just want to get out. I know the feel like doing this job, you're quite lucky. You sort of get out and about, even though we're not meant to. But you sort of go and see a few things and see a few people during your work day. But I say there's a lot of people that have been stuck indoors, haven't been at work or working from home, haven't been lucky enough to live, for example, like where I live in a New Forest and have a nice garden and sort of be able to sort of go out with the dogs and enjoy it. All these people are sort of like in London, live in their flats. I do sort of feel for them, you know, because I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I mean, like I say, I've worked all the way through, which I mean I was a bit unsure about to start with, but once I got into it, I was more than happy to be quite truthful, to be working. I think I'd have gone mad within the first week. The novelty to start with of having a bit of time off is good, but yeah, I think people's minds soon change on that one. But Freedom Day today, so all is good. Well, Freedom Day, apparently. Yeah, not much further now. Degrees already, 10:30 in the morning. I'm glad I got the shorts today. There's the crusher. It's only a dinky one. Well, I say dinky, it's about just over 30 tonnes, so it's not too bad, to be honest with you. You don't even know you got it on there, to be quite truthful. Right. See you in a sec. that all loaded. Bit warm, but it's all done. So just going to sort of have a last minute check, go round, make sure there's nothing loose. So see you in a sec. Yeah, it's all chained down lovely. So just sort of walk round to make sure there's nothing loose. Yeah, everything, no stones, nothing like that. Yeah, so all good. On our way to Shaftesbury now. Hopefully the weather will be good, the traffic will be good, and it'll be a nice little run. That's better in here. Oh, that's better in here. Right, that's us out of here. Wish they were all that easy. Right, off we go then.